Good afternoon, Lunica.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Rahul.
Good afternoon.
So happy to see you after a while. I think we met in August. And since we are in Singapore and we come on a short trip, but you accepted our invitation, that too on a Sunday afternoon. So really glad to have you, both of you here.
Delighted to be here.
So the idea was, what he has done. Malhar the Sea is a movement, and I'm talking on his behalf. We want to build it as a movement, and movement should have the people who have similar taste in life, family taste in music, family taste in lifestyle. At the same time, they are not very pompous. So with these words, I would ask Umar. I would request him to share his brief on this year's edition of Malhar the Sea.
Thank you, Lunica, for coming last year. It was great fun, Saurabh. It was great fun. I think we all had a great time last time. Yeah. So again, it's happening this year. It'll be an annual feature henceforth. So this year is again in August, but on 22nd, 23rd, 24th, similar weeks as last year. And we have to revive and improvise on the content of the show every year. That we can't be repeating what we did last time, but it should be interesting enough again this year. So I hope you guys are coming.
Yeah.
Consider us bit.
Yeah, so we have known each other for many years, so it was always lovely to have you. A lot of my friends this time are coming for the first time. So it's going to be really fun, really fun. A lot of people. Some of the people are quite well known in the social circuit. So वो लोग इस बार मैं आऊँगा, इस बार मैं आऊँगा. तो let's see what happens.
When I invited you, I just shared what is on the plate.
Right.
So you accepted. So what was the main thing that appealed to you? That is one part. And the second aspect is what stayed with you after those 3 days. So please begin, both of you.
So, I mean, when at least I saw the list of artists who were performing, that was really top class. It was also, I thought, and it turned out that way as well, a very intimate setting. So it wasn't like a typical large event in which there are hundreds of people, and then that intimacy is lost. And really that's what stayed with me as well. And particularly, I recall one incident after, I think, the performance. There were a group of artists who gathered together and they just started performing and jamming impromptu.
Yeah.
And they didn't really care that there were other people there as well. And it was, I think, a setting of maybe 30 or 40 people.
Yeah.
Out of which there were about 10 or 12 of the artists who had already performed.
Satyajit and his wife.
Yes, all of them were there.
All of them
There
were
was
there.
Ayan and his brother, and everybody was there. Even the Sufi singers.
Yes.
Yes, those true. Even they
And to really see that human side of the artists. We always see them on stage, they're glamorous, they're performing, and obviously that is appreciated. See that human side was illuminating, at least for me, and that really is the kind of intimacy which makes this event, I think, different. If it becomes very large, then I think it will lose that touch. But this is exactly, I think, the right setting. And obviously the hospitality and the location, the duration of the event, all that was great. But it's really ultimately getting to know these people as human beings, which was different.
Yeah.
In my mind, that stayed with me the best.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your feedback.
Yes, and
Lunica?
so I'm going to start from right when you invited me and I sent it to Rahul, and I'm an avid music lover. I've always been interested in music and classical music and dance and everything. So
Performing arts.
Performing arts, yeah. But mainly Hindustani classical. So Rahul and me, we also kind of connected on that, and then we were like, okay, this event we have to go. And who wants to not go to Goa for that, right? Goa is like the ultimate destination for art lovers and creative people. And but throughout the event, as both of us experienced, more and more, I think every detail was taken care of, right from the curation of the food to the artists to the rooms. The rooms were absolutely amazing. I think it was luxury to another level. We had our private pool and we had all sorts of things taken care of. So the artists and the curation of the events was amazing. But
That's why you have high spirits.
It's absolutely. Badoshi is like the absolute word that could go with it, because every day and every time we were just high, and and not just on alcohol but also on life, because on those 3 days that we got together as a couple and got to experience that whole thing, we were really, really happy. And as we rightly said, that to meet the artists and after the event having conversations with them, some of them have even stayed in touch. And
Good band, for example.
yeah, absolutely. And I started learning sitar after that.
Wow. That's really-
Yeah. So he had an
Really?
academy here in which I went to, and spontaneously I thought, okay, there's something I want to do, and I started learning. My daughter started learning as well.
Okay.
So yeah, it was great to just meet them, know them as human beings, and know their funnier side and their flawed side as well. It was
No, this year, see what was primarily in my mind was to make the second year and the third. Every year has to be different for our repeat audience. See, for a new audience, everything is fine because the experience that we'll give them again this year will be probably one notch higher, because there are a lot of learnings in every field from your past experiences. So we are going to do that. But for a repeat audience, because everybody who came, most of them, 90% of them, they want to come back again. So it's a vacation, but heavily loaded with excellent music. So let's call it
The
musication.
one thing perhaps I can add to that is, for somebody like me, I'm not as well versed as her in Hindustani classical music or classical music in general.
Right.
So there is an education element to this also. So the music with the vacation plus the education perhaps is the musication that you speak of.
Oh, wow.
It will not be difficult for you because you share the name with my favorite singer.
Yes.
Rahul
Yes.
Deshpande. So in terms of performances, if you are talking about specifically, like she said, she liked Purdai's, Siddharthi.
Yes.
So is there any particular performance which you
Yeah, I think the sitar performances were really outstanding.
even Kaushik.
That was there.
Yes.
Siddharth Bhai was very
Yeah,
good.
absolutely. And he is a full entertainer, right?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
absolutely. He's, I think, he's a dance having
Wonderful in the sense of humor.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Also, I think so these guys were all there, for your classical experience. I think the whole Gary Moore thing in the end was so fun because he played the absolute kind of music that we enjoy for our age group, especially because there are not too many young kids there.
Yeah.
Everybody was above a certain age group. And for us, it was total nostalgia. We enjoyed that music and danced so much because we knew every song. We knew everything that he was playing. And combined with that whole mixology class, it was great.
I think the format that you've developed is very unique,
Yeah.
and that appeals as well. Which is, you get the whole day practically to yourself
Right.
with some sessions in between. Then the music starts at 5 o'clock in the evening, 5 or 6, right? And then it carries on till about 10:30, and then there is this free time where the artists are also around there, and then you meet them perhaps for breakfast the next morning. So that entire thing, and culminating in that final party almost,
After
right?
party.
After party. That was very nice. So I hope that continues.
Yeah.
you gift somebody a product. Of course, it matters. and the feelings and the experience around it stays in your mind, stays with you. The product may lie in a shelf or on a hanger, but an experience that creates a wonderful memory stays with you forever. I'll give you an example. I had been to US for the first time several years ago, and I had read so much about Phantom of Opera in the Central Square and the theaters which are there. So when I was staying with my cousin, and my cousin's sister said, yeah, it was unfortunately we're not going to. So I was browsing the net, and the persons who visit US for the first time always convert dollars into rupees.
Mm-hmm.
So I selected a particular seat because you are going there for the first time and probably it's going to be a lifelong experience that you'll cherish. So I selected a particular seat. I calculated in rupee terms, it was something like 35,000. So my sister was watching me. And he said, "Chalo khana kha lete, let's eat." And I ate, and then by the time we finished our dinner, she had already booked. It's not that I couldn't afford, but she recognized what I like and she gifted it to me. That gift is like a lifetime. I will always. So my appeal to all of you, those who are watching and video also, gift an experience that will always stay with the person. Product may stop working, they may have so many watching, it will lie in a drawer, it will physically be there, it has to occupy you. I think
Absolutely.
That's a good idea.
I'm not just preaching, I'm gifting. 2 couples I have already invited.
I have this friend who I met her, I didn't know she was coming and I met her at the event. And she lives in my building. I didn't know that she was going to come.
Okay.
And she came with another woman. Like, then there were 3 of them. And they made like this girl gang and they said, we have to go for this because I was like, you have to go, it's a great event. And 3 of them came. And now this year also she's been telling me, Kika Bora, I want to go, I'm going. So it's not just, I think, a couple experience, also with your friends, I think.
Yeah, it's a wholesome experience of so many genres of
Just
music.
disconnecting from everything, your work and your personal life and kids and your job. And to just be there for 3 days to enjoy music, I think that is what just...
And let's create a community
For sure.
year after year.
Absolutely.
It should be
See, the idea of Malhar was also to create a community.
Right.
I mean, some year we'll do it in Goa, some year we'll do it in, for example, Kimsal in Rajasthan or Aurangabad or Sri Lanka or Abu Dhabi, whatever. These are the places are there. But the place also has to attract the crowd. And then the curation, the music, the food. So this year we have upped the food bit as well. So we're getting a huge chef called Priyam Chatterjee is going to.
Is a Michelin star?
Yes. And apart from that, we had requested the ITC people. See, 2 or 3 of their iconic restaurants are Bukhara, of course, and Delhi.
Right.
And then they have Nambo, and then they have Dakshin. So because we are getting 2 nights, 2 dinners, one will be all the offerings of Dakshin, the other day all the offerings of Nambo.
Yeah, very nice.
Right.
And then the lunch is also there. So we are really thinking very hard and expanding it to a different level, the food part. And for this we have had meeting with the ITC people in their headquarters, and so everybody is quite gung-ho about it. We'll go for the kill. So they're really going ahead, and thankful to ITC hotels for doing it. I'm always happy to see you, all of you together. So it's so much fun. Yeah. Let's have lunch.
Thank you for my...